Hi, my name is Dr. Hilary Davidson. I'm the chair of the Fashion and Textile Studies MA program. I'm on the 5th floor of the Gladys Marcus Library, and today I want to talk about the joy of books. Books are one of my favorite things in the whole world. Today I want to talk about what books do as information systems and why physical books can sometimes be more useful information sources than the digital ones we're all increasingly used to using. One of my favorite things about libraries and physical books is the joy of browsing the shelves. You can really see what's been written around a topic. I could look it up on a catalogue, but when I'm here, I can assess the informational structure of this topic through the books that are on the shelves. And there's often information in books that is not available digitally. For example, coming to this section of these shelves today, I discovered that the library has a complete set of this fantastic resource, The Clothes of the Common People series by Stuart Peachey. And this talks about ordinary dress for 16th and 17th century people. It's published by a very small press in Britain, and I know that this information isn't available online. But here, I can have a flick through the whole set. Not only that, but I can see what else has been written about clothing for this kind of period, a little bit earlier, a little bit less familiar to people, and I can flick through it and have a look at what other people are saying, what other kind of illustrations there are that may be relevant to a topic that I'm researching. So another joy about serendipitous discovery in a library is that if you're actually looking at the shelves and you want to have a look at, say, 20th century fashion here, you find all sorts of fantastic things just by turning around. So behind me here is a book on Chinese fashion, Tibetan dress, Hispanic and Portuguese fashion. And so just by being in the library, things might catch your eye. You might discover something that piques your interest or is useful for another project that you're interested in, or just that you didn't know existed. And it's part of this kind of treasure hunting that makes libraries such a joy to use and physical books such a rich resource. So the other great thing about books is that they're really condensed, trustworthy information. Books take a long time to write, and the authors have a chance to pull together their research, to really think about what they're writing, to decide what to include and what to exclude. So anything that we're looking at here, for example, this is a reference book of women's vintage clothing between 1910 and 1919. That's just 9 or 10 years of fashion. And if you're looking for, say, Titanic style, you're going to get a much more accurate, comprehensive idea from this book than just putting that phrase Titanic style into a search engine. So books are a great condensed way of getting to the heart of a subject well and quickly. Libraries are also a repository of historiography, the history of how a topic has been written about. So on this shelf, which is covering books that talk about a history of fashion, we've got classic older books, such as those written by the Cunningtons in the 1930s and 40s. And they're going to have a different point of view to a book like Everyday Fashion, which was published in 2023. But by comparing the information that's in these, you can see how schools of thoughts have developed, how social and cultural ideas about thinking about a particular topic have developed, and the way the subject was in the past and as it developed into the present day. And this is always a really, really useful point of view for developing your own critical thinking and your own understanding of the subject that you're looking at. So in conclusion, as a professor, as a researcher, as a writer who makes books, and as a person who loves books, I just want to emphasize what a fantastic resource they are. The Gladys Marcus Library is a particularly good selection of books. When I first walked in here, my jaw dropped. And I really encourage everyone to come in and have a look at the resources here and find your own treasure among the books on these shelves.